Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Coffee with Eddie. My name's Eddie Campos with Eddie's home team of RE/MAX Preferred Associates. Let's go inside and see who today's guest is. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back in to Coffee with Eddie. We're here with Rachel Hepner-Zawodny of the American Red Cross, and I think the one thing everyone knows the Red Cross for is blood.
Yep.
And there's blood drives that are going on consistently, and that might be, maybe gets a little desensitized for people because they see them so often, but there's a constant need for blood.
Oh, 100%. Blood can't be manufactured.
Correct.
It has to go from human to human.
Right.
And much like any other company or enterprise out there, we were hit by the pandemic it was pretty rough for a while. People were afraid to go out. They were afraid to donate, wasn't sure if it was safe. And then once we started doing antibody testing, and collecting convalescent plasma, then things started to get a little bit better. But our whole blood process in the way that the stocks come and go, the national blood supply, it really does a lot of this. And a lot of that is just what time of year it is. You come off the holidays, people are traveling, they don't think to donate over the holidays.
Sure.
They've got family in town. And then, the winter months, depending on where you live, like here, sometimes the weather will prohibit somebody from going out. But now we're getting into the summer months where the need is much greater because people are traveling more and people are on jet skis and people are, doing summer sports.
Sure.
Where a lot of those trauma patients tend to present more in the summer than they do in the winter. The need is constant, and the last thing that you want is to be in a situation where there's not blood for you and the doctor can't help you. So it's a critical part of what we do.
And I'm glad that you brought this up because that was going to be my next question. Can you dive in a little bit more to the antibody testing? Because, I'm just a realtor here in Northwest Ohio, so I don't think about these things, but I'm glad that people like the Red Cross and immunologists are looking at these things. I think that's fascinating that is something that was dove into so that it would be able to help people through
Right.
COVID.
Yep. So, and I think that was after the first 6 weeks of kind of COVID. I just remember it was about June or late May of last year, and they said, this is what we're going to do to help treat patients, that are in the hospital with COVID. And we knew of some, a lot of people who knew that they had hit COVID and had recovered from it, have those natural antibodies. And we had a lot of people show up and say, this is my part. This is my part to beat the pandemic, is to roll up my sleeve and donate plasma. As you can imagine, the cost to test is quite high. So as we see a lot more of the population being vaccinated, there's a difference in what your levels are versus your vaccination antibodies and natural antibodies. So, and we also have ways to treat it now in the hospital. So that kind of that 2-year window is now hopefully ebbing towards the positive.
Right. And it helps.
But for a while, the cancellation of elective surgeries. As you know, I just got a new hip, and that wouldn't have happened a couple of years ago.
Right.
So the fact that we're still, we're able to be there to help with the demand. We were in a blood crisis in January, and now we're seeing things start to, get a little bit more comfortable now. But we don't want people to stop. We certainly don't. If you have the ability to donate, every 56 days, we're going to find you.
That's fantastic. So if someone wanted to have a blood drive, how would they do that? Who would they contact?
So what we're trying to do right now, because much like the rest of the country, we're dealing with staffing shortages. We're dealing with people that have outstanding circumstances, whether it's with childcare or dealing with family issues or something. So until we are back to a really robust staff, we are encouraging people to look, go to redcrossblood.org, put in your zip code, and support a drive that's already on the books. Okay. Please be patient with us. We do encourage you to make an appointment because of the staffing issues that change on a daily basis. We're dealing with the same problems that a lot of companies are dealing with. So if you show up and if you have to wait, I'm sorry, but please stay.
Yeah.
Or if your appointment gets canceled or the drive gets canceled, I'm sorry, make another appointment, because there are and it changes on a day-by-day basis. Somebody
Sure.
could wake up, not feel well,
Right.
then we have to shift staff around.
Right.
So it's just a constant, moving things, and so either supporting blood drives that are already on the calendar or donating at the fixed site over on Executive Parkway is a good way to start.
So what is the website?
redcrossblood.org.
And they can go in there, put in their zip code,
Yep.
find the nearest blood drive.
And it'll
clinic.
also tell you what incentives, right now we're doing our Cedar Point drive, so people who show up to donate at certain drives, on every drive, will get a free Cedar Point pass.
Yeah, and I think there's a 20-ounce water bottle that was also given away.
It just depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's Amazon gift cards. It
Yeah.
just depends. Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice little perk then.
It is a nice perk.
Well, thanks for all you do. I really appreciate it. And please
Yeah.
tell everyone back at your office that everyone in the community appreciates all that they're doing for
We'd
us.
love to hear that. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Coffee with Eddie. We'll see you next month. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Coffee with Eddie. We're here to talk to my friend Tiffany over at the Appliance Center. And Tiffany, you've got a great special going on with the Crosley Conservador. What's happening here?
Yes, so this is an entry-level whirlpool. It is actually made here in Ohio, in Clyde. The set is under $1,000. It does come with a 1-year warranty, or you can purchase an extended 5-year warranty for each piece for $149.
Okay. Or if you're someone who just bought your first home, you're looking
And
to
you're
fill it
looking
up,
for
you need
something
a
to
washer
start
and
out.
dryer, this is a great place to start.
Absolutely, yes.
That's awesome. So if someone needed to have service done, you guys also service as well,
We
correct?
do. We have our service department. We do service all the products that we do sell.
So great product, available right away, can be delivered. You guys can service in-house, made in Ohio, fantastic price.
Yes.
Come and
very,
see.
very affordable option.
Very affordable
Yes,
option.
Yes.
Come and see Tiffany. So if you're looking for a new washer and dryer, this is the place to be. Appliance Center on Illinois Avenue in Maumee, or you can find them in Sylvania on Monroe Street. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next month.